If they talking to their ex, that's a red flag. Early and they won't say that's a red flag. Blame it on a Zodiac, that's a red flag. I was to hit you back, that's a red flag. Leave like everybody else, that's a red flag. Let's just go with the flow, that's a red flag. Nobody's gotta know, that's a red flag. Need to know, yo. Red flags. I've been trying to see the ride from the wrong. I don't want a hotel, but a home. Intuition gotta be on. Love turning up, that's a red flag. Everyone, your friend, that's a red flag. I can tell that you got that baggage, yeah. And I gotta stay away from that. It's just certain things I gotta do what I do, yeah. Just to get a base, I gotta move. Just keep that energy, but put it to better use. Cause you ain't about to use me. If they talking to their ex, it's a red flag. Early and they want sex, it's a red flag. Blame it on the Zodiac, that's a red flag. Take out to hit you back, that's a red flag. Think like everybody else, that's a red flag. Let's just go with the flow, that's a red flag. Nobody's gotta know, that's a red flag. Even know, yo, red flags. Promise they playing and playing everybody like shit. Phone on, do not disturb when you.
Well, the first time we went out, you said you never settled down without a doubt. You said your ex still comes around. I found the things around your house. What's that about? Don't take a genius, yeah, I see it. Even my friends say they are with you. A million reasons should be leaving. I need more hands to count all the issues, but I keep on running through these red flags. I blame myself. I know it's bad, but I keep on running through these red flags. I see the signs, but I still come back. I keep on running through the wheel, touching my body. Listen to nobody, nobody can stop me. I keep on running through these red flags. I see the signs, but I still come back. So I keep on running. You living at your parents' place. You said you'd never move away. Guess that's okay. The dinner bill I have to pay, 'cause with you I like the taste. Just keep the change. Don't take a genius, yeah.
Am I on? Am I there? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Hookah Lounge. Oh, I'm kind of close. I'm off base. Sorry for our tardiness. We had some technicalities, but we are here and we are gonna have a great show. Where's my LaLa? Did I just appear? There I am, and there you are.
Hey, it's 8 o'clock,
So
huh?
I know. I looked down at the screen. I was like, oh my gosh, it is 8 o'clock. So I know you won't be able to stay for the whole show because you gotta get to work.
Yes, it's about that time.
I know. And this is your topic.
I know. We didn't expect
So,
technical difficulties, though, but it
yeah.
happens.
And yeah, life keeps life and every day.
Mhm.
Um, but we're here to get lifed, so somebody isn't this morning, didn't wake up. I always say that somebody didn't wake up this morning because it's crazy because that's my grandmother passed away that way, my stepfather passed away that way, my mom passed away that way, just didn't wake up.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so when you wake up in the morning, oh, I didn't even my light is kind of dim. I feel like I'm in a dungeon. So we got to give the minute you open your eyes in the morning, say all praises to the Most High that He woke you up, because that's
Yes.
always a blessing. We got to remember that. So, but this topic is going to be great. And this is LaLa's topic. Like we were going over topics to do this month, and this was the first one she gave. I was like, that's it. We're doing that one Saturday. Because these red flags, and me and you have talked about, hey, drunken chef, you and I have talked about red flags and things that we either we see and ignore, or we just don't pay attention to. And
And
especially,
why is it though that we ignore those red flags?
and that's a question we really got to ask ourselves. A lot of times we think, oh, it's okay because we could fix those later.
Hmm.
You
Or he
know,
really loves me, or she really loves me because it goes both ways.
right. Or just because, and as we get into some of the videos, just because he does it to if I put that video up, I don't remember. Just because he's like that with other people, he's not like that with me, or she's not like that with me, you
Right,
know.
right, right.
But it always trickles, you
Yeah,
know. So, and a lot of times those red flags, and it doesn't matter if it's within your relationship, your personal relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, at work, in friendships, those red flags come everywhere, and they
right.
just start that you see, I put them all over the video, they just start coming. And we could just like, oh, I don't see them being covered with red flags. Like in football, you see them flags come up, stop that play.
Yeah, yeah,
Flags, whistles, but we ignore it thinking, oh, it'll just get better.
yeah.
No, it's or you see it, like especially in the workplace, you see a boss that constantly does something to one person, like, well, that my name is Bennett. Like the show, what would you do last week? My name is Bennett. I ain't in it. Yeah, they dogging that my supervisor dogs that person out, but they ain't doing it to me. And then when that
Right.
person, then that supervisor now is doing it to you. But you
Mm,
saw those red flags. You saw that supervisor was like that.
hmm.
And a lot of times we mind our own business, like, "Nah, I'm under the radar, so I'm gonna just leave it alone, you
Right.
know. So it's but I know you gotta go, but I wanna if you have any red flags you want to talk about before you have to skedaddle.
No, I mean, bottom line is, you just need to recognize the red flags and know that it's definitely not going to get better. A lot of people think, oh, this person loves me. That's the reason why they're doing this. And that's the reason why they're doing it. No, that's a characteristic to them. That's what it is. And you need to recognize it. First, understand what it is, the signs. And then once you recognize it, get away,
Yes.
get as far as away as you can. It's not
Oh,
out of love. I'm gonna stick around for the next 15 minutes though. I'm not gonna run off right now because I definitely want to see
okay.
what other people have to say, about that. Because it's real
Yeah.
serious. It I've had this situation happen in my personal life, to where I had to literally move. I had to literally like relocate. And in the beginning, I thought that, oh, he must really care. He must really love me.
Yeah.
But then he started micromanaging, my
Mhm.
friends, even, accusing, you must be doing this at work, that and the other. And it's like, what? You know what I'm saying? I gave you no signs, clues, or anything that I'm, cheating on you or anything like that. So,
Yeah.
you just need to know how to recognize the signs and know that it's not going to get better. It's definitely going to get a lot worse, and it can get a
Yeah.
lot worse.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I've been on this I just been watching stupid movies to just escape from the world right now. So I was watching this one movie, and I'm gonna ask you about this before we get into the videos. So let's say like your phone is ringing, and or you get a text message, and somebody says, male or female, this goes both ways. Hey, you got a text message. It's from blah blah blah, and you say okay. Then they're like, well, what's the code on your phone? I'll tell you what the message is. Is that considered? And then and then they'll say like, why do you have a passcode on your phone? I mean, it's just me and you. With that, is that like the beginnings of a red flag? Like, one, why do you need to read my message? And two, why are you asking, do I have a code on my phone?
Right. I don't know. I think that might be the beginning signs of a red flag, because people who, if he's controlling and he needs to know all that, once you give that answer, you shouldn't hear those type of questions anymore after that. Because, people put passcodes on their phone for whatever reason. Mine is because if it gets stolen, they can't get into my phone. You know what I'm saying? They
Exactly.
can't get back into my phone. So there's several reasons, but that can be. I think that would have to accompany, a couple more red flags. That's not a definite, but if you start to see red flags back to back, that's when you start raising an eyebrow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't. I have a password on my phone because nowadays all your banking information, like your Amazon. I mean, like nowadays all you have, it's so easy to order stuff because everything is on your phone. So I've had a passcode. I mean, even my grandson knows my.
Right, right,
So that's
right, right.
not so that but if you're not my husband and you're just my dude, why do you need my passcode?
Right, 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 right.
So
And
and
are
then
they going to share their passcode?
that why was I going to say that? So because I've never I know the husband's passcode, but I've never asked for it.
Right.
And then like, why do you need to read me the text message that why don't you just bring because my husband's phone rings and because he leaves it everywhere, like he don't never know where his phone is. I'll take it
Yeah.
to him. I don't answer his phone and say, hey, Hunt Dog's phone, this wifey.
Yeah.
Why?
Right.
You know,
No, that's
so
taking it too far. If they have to know what the messages and everything is, that's definitely a red flag.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's what I and then that movie got in it got really deep, but that made me stop to think like one and nowadays, like you have, I know my son and his wife, they have their GPS on their phones just in case something
Mhm.
happens to them. But when they first told me, I was like, that's deep. Y'all need to know where you guys are 24/7. But it takes me back to that first marriage where I had to know where I was what time I got there, what time I left. It took me into a bad space. Like, oh wow, so y'all need to know where each other is 24 hours a day. But it made sense when they said, well, what if she disappears, or what if something I crash somewhere? So I said, okay, y'all are married. That's that new millennial thing. Like
Yeah.
y'all know where each other because I watch a lot of court shows, Mathis and well, his GPS said he was here and he told me he was there. That was the
Right.
first thing that hit my mind. But these millennials, I think they know too much about each other. To me, those are huge red flags. Y'all know where each other is 24/7. You guys are in each other's social medias. All these to
Mhm.
be a red flags. Like, at what point do you get any privacy from each other?
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
I
But
can
these aren't.
definitely understand the location. That's a good
Yeah,
point, knowing the
yeah,
location, but reading text messages and stuff like that, now that's taking it a little bit too far.
yeah. And you can say,
Yeah.
why you like this picture on such and such? I don't even. We have our own social medias. I don't even know who or what or why. I don't understand that much need to know about somebody else's life. Maybe
Right.
I'm just too too busy in my own to I think maybe I have my own life to be so concerned about somebody else's. Maybe
Mm.
I'm a terrible wife. I don't know. Hey, what's up, Big Stump? If you have to check your girl's phone, you should already know it's all bad. That's what I'm seeing. And then like the women that come on the court shows and they're so proud of being Inspector Gadget. What are you doing with your own? What's up, Conejo? What are you doing with your own life?
Right. And trust is one of the first things you should have, trust and communication. That's the first thing is trust. Why do you need to do
Yeah,
all that? You know?
those are man, those are so many red flags. I just got to come back 45 yards. You know what I mean? What's up,
Right.
Mike? Move to the south and get a southern man. A southern man. Look, I want to rub my hands together, but I can't move it up that high. I can't do this though. Wait, here. Oh, you can't even see. Wait, I gotta help it. There it is. Hi. I if I help it, it doesn't think for itself yet. G-Lew, let's get one of those videos so LaLa can critique on it before she got to run off to work. Sorry, you guys, we were late tonight, and we're not going to run late because we don't want to run into Lena's show. So we might rush through this topic. Might have to come back to it because I love these red flags. So whenever you
Mhm.
want to, she just drop one of them videos.
All right,
even if
y'all.
I'm
Here are 4 signs, 4 red flags to me in any kind of relationship. If I see any of these things, do not pass go, do not collect $200. We got to get up out of here. So let's get into it, family. Number 1 is manipulation. One thing I cannot stand is when I feel like I'm being played, duped, manipulated. I'm extra sensitive to that. I'm maybe a little bit paranoid, y'all. I'm always thinking, what's the motive? What's the motive? But really, if I feel any kind of manipulation, I gotta go. Number 2 is inconsistency. I want to see that someone is a person of their word. If I can't trust you to follow through on your own word, yeah. Number 3 is a lack of accountability. Y'all, I can't stand a person that dodges accountability and tries to blame everybody else for their issues. Number 4, somebody who wants to be pursued. Y'all, I'm looking for a leader. And that includes in the dating process. Number 4, somebody who wants to be pursued. Y'all.
Man, she hit those like
It's like she was reading my notes right here. She pretty much said everything that was on my notes. Definitely manipulation, yeah, that's definitely a red flag right there.
a lot of times people don't realize what manipulation. Hey, Vanessa, don't realize what manipulation is. I pulled it out while she was talking. Manipulation is manipulation is when someone controls or influences another person to get what they want, often in an unfair and unfair or underhanded way. It can involve using lies, threats, or other tactics to control a person's thoughts, actions, or behaviors. A lot of people don't know what manipulation is because they're like, they manipulated me. Nah, you went out and got drunk and did something dumb on your own.
Right.
But a lot of times, that manipulation and it comes with that accountability thing. I think they go both ways. When she was talking about the accountability, like people that don't take accountability for things and can always flip the script on you, that is such a red flag. And this goes in the workplace, it goes in your friendships, it goes in your relationships. And this is a real pet peeve of mine. And I say this in friendships, workplace, and relationships. If you come to somebody and you tell them, hey, this makes me feel blah, 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 or when this happened, it felt blah, blah, blah. And they manipulate that whole situation and flip it. And they take your feelings like you did something wrong. And then you start saying, oh, well, maybe I did.
Right.
Maybe it was. And a master manipulator can flip that whole situation, like I said, on your job, in your friendships, and in your relationship, to then make you. And this is where, if you don't have self-confidence in yourself, self-confidence, ladies, You got to be self-assured and self-confident, and men too, because men suffer from this as well. That someone can manipulate you to make you feel like you did something wrong. Somebody can cheat on you and make you feel like it was your fault that you got cheated on.
Right.
Someone can hurt your feelings and make it feel like it was your fault. You got your feelings hurt. Well, I wouldn't have hurt your feelings if you weren't so soft-skinned. Oh yeah, I do need to toughen up. I am kind of sensitive. I shouldn't take, I was just playing. You can't take a joke? Instead of saying, oh, damn, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I probably should watch how I say things.
Yeah.
You know? And then they'll kill you. And then this is when women really go to next relationships, and men, because women can be as heartless as men. I was 5 brothers, 5 sons.
Mhm.
I'm speaking about myself.
Yeah.
Well, if you were better in bed, I wouldn't have to go seek it out someplace else. You
Right.
know, you make a mistake at work, and well, why are you so stupid that you couldn't figure out how to do it the first time I showed you? And then you're thinking, well, you never showed me.
Mm.
So that manipulation, like I said, those are some flags that you got to stop and say, wait a minute, that was not my fault.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to change your character, who you are, just to be with this person. When you start noticing that change in yourself, that's a red flag. Just to be able to be around this person, you have to live your life, differently. That's a red flag in itself.
Yeah. And then the ultimate one, like when you get physically abused, well, I wouldn't have to hit you if you wouldn't have done blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
See, you make me do that. I love you so much and you make me hit you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. So,
Right.
and not that I know I have a crazy sense of humor, and I that one I lived. Like, and then when you go see counseling, and the first thing that's why I said these churches, I have my issue with the first thing that the minister says, or what are you doing to him to make him hit you? So then you really take a step back and you start saying, well, I always say if I didn't have a daddy that loved me, I would have some serious issues. What's up, Vanessa? So you don't take that manipulation is masterful. And when you're good at it, that person can make you believe anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a red flag. The minute you see it, the minute they flip and I tell people the first time they flip a story on you, and if you feel a certain type of way and you go and you talk to somebody and they flip that, run like the wind, run like Usain Bolt. You got to go.
Right.
It just gets worse and worse. So I know I manipulated that one. I'm sorry, because you said you had your notes. Girl. It was something else she brought up on that one. What was the other one?
I can't remember.
But I know that manipulation one, like, it cuts to the core, and being able to manipulate people. It was, if I could manipulate you to, buy me a car. Just joking. I don't even have a license.
It's going to be a price to pay for that too.
Yeah. There's no good way to. Hey, if I could manipulate you to donate to the homeless, because we got a homeless problem. So, G-Lew, go ahead and drop another one. See if we can get LaLa in for another one.
Here are 7 red flags to watch out for. Number 1, your core values don't align with each other. It's one thing when you don't enjoy the same food or activities, but it's another thing when you both disagree on certain values. For example, how money or time should be spent. People get into relationships for the wrong reasons all the time. In general, people are driven by sexual attraction, but we disregard whether the person is good for us in the long run. Number 2, you stop laughing together. When the honeymoon phase is fizzling out, do you suddenly realize that they're no longer such a comedian and the jokes and topics are actually not so funny or sexy? Number 3, you have different lifestyles and goals. As mentioned before, if you like dogs and they like cats, then that's okay. But if you like crocheting at home and playing with your cat while watching Netflix and they need to hang out with their bros, going bar hopping and tailgating all the time, Or if you ultimately want to build a family and live in a white picketed house with kids running around and they want to be the next Charlie Sheen, then it's probably not the best match. Number 4, you don't trust each other. Do you genuinely believe what they say? How much of what they say triggers an alarm? Do their actions align with their words? Do you stalk their social media for countless hours trying to figure out if they're honest or vice versa? This is a huge red flag. Number 5, you're both toxic to each other. No one is perfect. Everyone has a story. Everyone is flawed in their own ways, and that's okay. What matters is that we're able to be a support for each other or do our own healing. Number 6, either one of you is not committed. Successful relationships require commitment. Sometimes our past trauma make us feel broken or insecure. We may have unresolved trust issues or a fear of intimacy. If that's the case, it's important to address them together or seek professional couple counseling. And number 7, you don't see a future together. Even though you're happy together now, perhaps you don't really see a future together. Perhaps your goals and theirs don't align anymore. Perhaps there's someone out there better for one of you. You start questioning things. While it's normal to have what ifs in a relationship, it's another thing if you can't picture this person in your future.
Oh, did we lose my girl already? I know she had to go to work and we got a late start. If I sense any of those manipulation tactics from people, I just move on. It's worked well for me in my life. And that's the smartest thing to do. Just bounce, rock, roller skate. I'm telling you. What's up, Q Smooth? Because a lot of times people don't even catch that manipulation at first. It goes on for a while before you realize, yeah, this don't seem like the right relationship for me. And I'm telling you, a lot of times it's women that aren't and I got married at 17. So I learned if I see anything, anything, well, not now, but when I was running the streets, if any sign from that first marriage, I was gone. Pew. Man, like Casper, I would just whoop, disappear. You never knew me. So they were like, whatever happened to Dee Dee? She gone. So, which made it hard for me to have a relationship with anybody because that's what she was talking about, trust. I had no trust in anybody. You kind of lose your trust when all the red flags were there. But at 17, I got married at 17. I didn't know anything. So you learn them as you grow up and you experience a lot of things. When she went through these tactics, one, I'm gonna go through them. But one thing she talks about is toxic relationships. A lot of people are in toxic relationships and they love these toxic relationships. They think it's great. Toxic relationships, I think they like the makeup sex, and I hope I can say that without getting nipped, because they'll always say, yeah, we fight and we fight hard, but we make up even better. That is like the worst. What's up, Big Dev? The worst kind of relationship, because then you bring kids into this toxicity and then they end up having toxic relationships. But they'll swear to you like, oh yeah, I know we're toxic. They don't say toxic. I know we fight and we go through it, but man, when we make up, it shows how much we love each other. No, it shows how dysfunctional you are. So I can't just be in a relationship where it's always this and then this and then this and then this. I'm gonna be back on my studio chair pretty soon. I can't move around and get stuff, so my arm would just disappear. I feel like I'm a genie in a bottle. So pretty soon I'll be back functioning. But I thank you guys for coming back to the show when I had to take the hiatus. But I'm glad that you stuck with us and you're coming back and you still support us. But yeah, that toxicity is crazy. And people really, really love that. That is the biggest red flag in a relationship, that you just need to bounce and not be there. But like they say, but that makeup, when we make up, you could tell how much we love each other. Yeah, no, you guys are just physically attracted to each other. The rest of that, y'all need to just see each other maybe once a month and not talk. You know what I'm saying? So, and then it talks about having core values. If you guys don't have the same core values, you're not gonna make it. Like, you have to want the same things in the long run. That you have to have the same faith values or have some type of faith. You have to have some type of goal oriented. You have to want the same things in the future, or you're gonna keep bumping heads and it's not gonna work out for you. So, and the trust, we talked about the trust a little bit ago. You got to have some type of trust. And you have to know what you want in the future. Like if you guys are just hanging out to hang out and have a good time, make that known. Let each other know that, because if you don't see marriage and a white picket fence at the end of that, that's a red flag right there, because you always have one person that sits there and they're starry-eyed and they're writing their you guys as kids' names down. Sorry. I don't know. You remember in high school, you would write your name and then their name at the end, and you trying to see if their last name would fit with yours, and you want a boy and a girl, or I want twins to get it over with. And yeah, okay, if you're young and you're 15, 16, that's all good. When you start getting in them 30s and her biological clock is ticking and yours is still, like they said, one of you is at the club and the other one is crocheting, which is kind of funny because not the crocheting part, but like I can get up and go and do certain things whenever I feel like it. And the husband is like, we went to we went to Mexico. We went to not Ensenada. We went to Ensenada before, but we went, I don't know, it took us 5 hours to get there on the plane, but we went on a 7-day trip. Okay. By day 3, this man was ready to come home. And I'm like, are you for real? So like, that's where we differ. Like after 3 days, he can go on a 3-day vacation. He ready to come home. But every time we go on a vacation for a week, by day 3, day 4, he is missing home. So, I mean, like that doesn't interfere with our relationship because we get ready to go on another cruise. We already know 4 days and he's done. He got to come home. But you have to have that. If you don't have that understanding in your relationship, and they are always a homebody and you are the type, because that's always been us. I've always been the type to be like, phew, I'm gone, phew, I'm gone, phew. And he'd be like, see you when you get back, because I ain't going. If you don't have that understanding in the relationship, you will definitely grow apart. Because the other person will be like, no, I want you to stay here with me. Don't leave. Then you're not, that's a red flag. Y'all are not going to make it. You know, so if you don't have that understanding where one person says, see you when you get back, you know, even before we got married, if like my designated driver, the one time I had a designated driver, this girl, I had to call him to come pick me up. So, because I'm usually the designated, it was my day, it was my birthday weekend. So, what's up, JoJo? So he came pick me up. So if you don't, he wasn't going because he don't hang out like that. So if you don't have the understanding that he's willing to drop everything and come get you, he'll let you go do whatever you want to do, or she, then you have to. That's a red flag. You guys are not gonna make it. So you got to have that understanding that if they're not gonna go with you somewhere, because he came somewhere with me and everybody was shocked that he showed up. Like a hunt dog came with you. Oh my gosh, you know. So if that's a red flag, you guys have to have the same interests. You have to want to do the same things. You got to be comfortable in your skin, or it's just not going to work. Again, all the red flags, 10-yard penalty, that's just not going to work. I'm looking at the time, G-Lew, so let's drop, because you know I can go on and on. Let's drop another video, because I got one that's really good.
Unwillingness to take accountability without deflection. All right. What do I mean by that? One, if the individual is not taking accountability for his actions early on, that's a problem regardless. It's not just taking accountability with you. Does he take accountability in his life in general? If he doesn't, that's a problem. But it's not just not taking accountability, which is bad enough. But sometimes people will verbally take accountability, but they'll do so with deflection. It's like, yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have done this, but this person did this.
Oh my gosh. What's up, Monique? This is like a 50-yard penalty. Like, when do you get one of these? Here. On accountability. This is a red flag that stay single. Especially when you come across this one, the accountability one. Oh my gosh. I wish this was a short and I was trying to find him to listen to what he had to say. People, accountability, and this is just not a red flag for just men or women. I mean, this is on everything on your life. This is the one that drives me utterly insane when people cannot sit back and say, be accountable for their actions or the things that they do. And before, ladies and men, before you get them, I'm not even gonna say relationship, before you get married, and this is the thing that especially women, and I had talked about this in the beginning of the show. When you see them do it to somebody else, and you say it's not going to happen to me, so you see how they'll come and they'll talk to you, and they'll tell you what such and such. Oh, see, such and such is mad at me because and I'm gonna go to the fullest. I borrowed his car, and man, I saw it was overheating, and I was trying to wait till I got to the exit, to get some water in it, and just because I blew the head, he thinks I'm supposed to fix his car. Oh, he's mad bugging. Man, he should have loaned me the car. I don't know nothing about cars. Well, I look like a mechanic. I'm an accountant. If he wanted a mechanic, he should have loaned his car to a mechanic. What? And then you think, well, dang, he do his friend wrong. I mean, at least go half. I mean, maybe his friend probably should have checked the fluids before he loaned the car, but you just gonna leave him out like that? Accountability. And I know that's like so far-fetched, but I had to go to the extreme. Like when I said you come and talk to somebody, you say, hey, you kind of did this, this, and that. And they was like, well, I wouldn't have hurt your feelings if you wouldn't have said something stupid to me. I wouldn't have called you a jackass if you wouldn't have been acting like a jackass. What? And you see them doing things, or they, perfect example, they start something with you. They'll do something to you and you say, hey, dude, don't do that. Don't you having a party and there's always somebody that drink too much. They're the fun guy and they get way too much fun. Or you go out with a friend and they always start a fight. And then when you say, or you want to take their keys, or say, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a scenario. And then they come back to you when you say something to them, and then you're trying to tell them, or like, don't two people are fighting in public, they're married, and you guys fight at home all the time, and you tell them, hey, don't argue with me in public. Whenever if we have a disagreement in public, wait till we get home. And they tell you, well, don't say anything stupid in public. I wouldn't have said that to you if you wouldn't have said that to me. If you just be quiet and keep your mouth shut when we're in public, I wouldn't have to do that to you. Or then you get the ones, oh, this is the one right here. The fake apology. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess I shouldn't have been so loud in public. I probably shouldn't have did that to you. I see where you're coming from now. Yeah, I understand. But you probably shouldn't have said what you said to me. And then I wouldn't have said what I said to you. That means nothing you said means anything. That means you didn't mean it. Or, I wouldn't have socked you in your eye if you wouldn't have been loud to me. Well, no, that's not a good one, because, well, no, I'm not. If you're loud with me, I'm still not going to sock you in your eye, because before the show, I said everybody has a right to say whatever they want to say. I just said that before the show started. I said everybody has a right to say whatever they want to say. Unless you call me the N-word, you don't have the right to do that. You just don't. No, we don't disrespect people, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion. So anyone can say what they want to say. But when this is that, be accountable for your actions. And we all do things. Everybody does something that's going to upset somebody else. But it's how you handle that. It's how you deal with that. I mean, shoot, I got to apologize to Eric because my sense of humor, he does not find funny. And I like to antagonize Eric all the time. But we all do something in this world to somebody that you're going to have to take accountability for, whether you did it on purpose or you did it on accident. You have to take accountability for. And we all do something that sets off someone else. And trust and believe, one day, whether you've done it before or you do it in the future, so heed these words so that you don't hit a red flag with somebody and you mess up a friendship or a relationship or a job, you don't F off a job, you're going to say or do something to somebody that's going to set them off, and intentionally or unintentionally. And you're going to have to take responsibility for that. You're going to have to be accountable for that. And it's the way that you behave afterward that counts. Not only for the person that you're around, but also for the Most High. If you believe if you have any faith in you, if you don't, then there's karma. Because, there's something in this universe or this world that you got to answer to, whether it's the Most High or it's the karma. So how you hold yourself to that is what matters in life. So either you can humble yourself, and humility is a wonderful thing, because if you don't humble yourself by yourself, the Most High is going to humble you, or that karma is going to kick you in the tail. Okay, so you got to take accountability. Like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have said it that way. Maybe I should have respected their feelings. Maybe I should have heard them out. Maybe I shouldn't have ran his car into the ground. Let me help pay for it. Because what if it was on its last leg and would have broke down on him, but I was in it? That's why I don't like to borrow people's stuff, because if I have it and it breaks down, then I got to pay for it. So I don't like to borrow anything, but I happen to be in the car. So look, bruh, let's go half on the new engine. See, that's accountability. So that's just, when I saw that piece right there, I was like, so many people will do the apology with, hey, bro, I'm sorry, man, I probably shouldn't have did that. But don't ever add a but to an apology, because you're not you're apologetic. You didn't mean it. So for future reference, I might be teaching you how to lie right now. Don't add a but to your apology. Just apologize. And in this day and age, you got to find some humility, because everybody hates everybody. Nobody's entitled to feel how they feel. It's my way or no way. And a lot of people are going to be ASS out in life. And my sister-in-law works in a convalescent hospital, and there are a lot of men there that die alone. So, and y'all outnumber us. No, we outnumber y'all. G-Lew was like, you always get that wrong. We outnumber y'all, so you should not be dying alone. So think about that. Let's find some humility. I think we got, oh yeah, let's rush this along, G-Lew, because y'all got Lena's show to get to. Lena. That R&B and soul mix.
First red flag is that person cannot be happy for others. And what I mean by that is this person cannot celebrate or be joyful or uplift another person when they have reached goals, whether that's job, career, relationship, just a new milestone. This person just cannot be happy for that other person. That could be you or someone else in their life that you are peeping. They just can't be happy for that other person. Next red flag is they have to have all the attention. I have dealt with people like this and I cannot stand it. I hate when a person who's supposed to be my friend, when they contact me, when we meet up, when we kick it, anything of that nature, it always has to be about them. And when it's not, it turns into a bad situation. The vibes is turned off, there's tension, it's just a very awkward situation. But the attention always has to be on them. The topic of conversation has to be about them. They always switch the conversation back to them. If you're talking to them or venting to them about a problem that you're facing, they want to flip the script and turn it back to them. Those are people who just really seek attention, and for whatever reason, they are not getting the attention that they want, and they are literally forcing that attention on them from the people that is around. So the third red flag that your friend is really not your friend, and this is something you really need to peep, like in the very beginning of your friendship, to really understand what type of person they are and what kind of character they have, is if they are a type of person to talk bad about someone else in front of you or to you, but then smile in that person's face the next time they see them. That is such a, oh, I can't stand that. Like literally, none of my friends is like that. Let me just tell you that right then and there. But that is something that you really need to watch out for, because if they are doing that to this person and bad mouthing them and harming them with words or whatever, and then they go smile on their face and chop it up. Oh my gosh, girl. Oh my gosh, I love your hair. Oh my gosh, your outfit's so cute. And then literally hours later, they're talking to you like, oh my gosh, did you see her outfit? More than likely, they will end up doing that too. Fourth red flag is manipulation, and manipulation can be seen in lots of different ways, but you will know when you see it. So this is a kind of friend who looks for opportunity to further themselves, and they don't care if they hurt other people along the way. And they will twist and turn any type of situation and bend it to their will so that they get what they want out of the situation or out of the friendship or get to the goal that they're trying to reach, not caring about the feelings that they hurt or anything of that nature. So you need to watch out for friends like that. The fifth red flag, okay, that your friend is really not your friend is when they take advantage of you. So this person only sees you for opportunity and benefits. And this kind of ties into some of the other red flags, but this is really like specific in the sense of they only use you for certain things. They use you for conversation. They use you for when they're bored and they have no one else to talk to. They use you for your belongings. They use you for your car. They use you for your social status. They use you for your financial status. They're using you to put themselves forward. So they're not really seeking a friendship with you. They're more seeking the benefits of having a friendship with you, if that makes sense. Friends that you want to have in your life are people who root for you and support you no matter where they are in life. They may not be where they want to be, but they see that you're getting to your goals and they are rooting for you and they're supporting you unconditionally. That's a friend that you want to have. You want a friend that engages with you conversation, vice versa. They want to hear about your life. They want to hear about your struggles. They want to hear about your wins. And they also want to share their wins and struggles with you. A relationship consists of two people. You can't do it by yourself. When you have a friend, you want that friend to pour into you and you want to pour into that friend.
This is the perfect video to end on. What's up, Keisha girl? I see you. She hit this one on the head, and we struggled to get this video on tonight. So thank you, Most High. All praises to the Most High. Never lose your faith in him, because in his time, he gives you everything that you ask for and deserve. So if he tells you no, accept the no's, because he always gives you the yes that he thinks that you should have. Just my little piece of advice for you. You don't have to take Didi's word for it. It says that in the Bible. One thing about friendships, and you have to watch these red flags. Man, that's my brother. I can't even take this call right now. Fudge. These red flags you have. I know that was Uncle Brandon. I couldn't answer it. I'll get it next time. That's my grandson. Like, your brother on the phone. They're not happy for you. Like, and they're not happy for the people around you. Like, when something good happens, you can see, I'm gonna say, the little tinge of jealousy, instead of being like, that's right. Oh my gosh. That's what made me think about what I just said. When something good happens to someone that you care about, that's your friend, everybody should be excited. And they'll like throw a little something in there like, too bad it wasn't closer to home, but that really wasn't the job you wanted, right? Didn't you want the blue car instead? But I'm happy for you, girl. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Instead of the complete happy for you. You could see the fake joy, because they'll say something little like, oh, I'm getting married. Oh, girl, that's great. That's great. So you forgave him for when he cheated on you, right? See what I mean? So they always throw in that one little thing instead of the complete joy that you're supposed to have for your friends, no matter what. See, because I have the saying, if you like it, I love it. I don't care. I don't have to drive it. I don't have to work it. I don't have to live with it. If you are happy and you like it, I love it for you, because I see how happy you are. I'm not throwing no salt. I'm not pouring no tequila in your wound. I'm not doing any of that, because you are happy. Once you become unhappy, I'm going to be unhappy with you, because I'm going to give you. Now, if you're doing something stupid, like I see you snorting bath salts, I'm going to say, girl, what you doing? Because that ain't going to make you happy. Do you understand? So that's a red flag. That's not your friend. Then she did, have my glasses on. Oh, the one that needs all the attention. I got a couple of these. My circle is very small. I used to have a lot of friends. I mean, like my hood friends would be like, when I got married, it's funny because they all came together. Really interesting. They'd be like, oh, you with your your snobby friends, or you with your hood friends. So I have both spectrums because Dee Dee is a chameleon. So I narrowed my circle down very small because I always wanted to do different things in life. So that one friend, if you ever notice that you're with, and you might have a couple like I did, no matter what y'all are doing, it always turns into them. You could be talking, whatever you're talking about, they got a story for that. Whatever you're going through, they've been through it. And I love my mother to death. This was my mother. Everything we did, it was about Abuelita. So that's just certain. That wasn't a bad thing for her. She was just old. We could be celebrating my niece, and at the end of the day, we were celebrating Abuelita. It's just how she was. But this is the negative part of them. You could be telling them, your Abuelita's in the hospital. She's having chemo. And they're like, yeah, man, my mom almost had chemo. I wouldn't know what to do if my mom went through chemo. What? What are you talking about? And this happened and crazy, and I got to get through this because it's Lena's show. My mom passed away. And someone that my mom, she took care of her kids and looked out for her. And when I used to take care of her son. And when I got sick and couldn't do it, my mom would come with me and help take care of her son. So when my mom passed away, I called to let her know, hey, Abuelita passed away, blah, blah, blah. And then I hadn't heard from her in a couple of months, and I checked on her. I checked on her to see how she was doing because my mom's death affected a lot of people. She was everybody's Abuelita or mom. They called her mom or Abuelita. So she was like, oh, I'm sorry I wasn't able to be there for you because my mom passed away. So I was like, what? Your mom passed away? Oh my gosh, why you didn't tell me? I'd have been there for you. I know how hard it is to lose a mom. And she was like, no, my foster mom. And I knew her mom. I was like, your foster mom? And she was like, yeah. I said, girl, I've known you like 15 years. You have never mentioned a foster mom to me, but I'm sorry for your loss. I still felt bad for her. But do you see how that you turned me losing my mom into you talking about your foster mom that I've never heard? I knew you like 15 years. You've never, ever talked about a foster mom before. Somehow it always turns into them, no matter what. Like, hey, I just got promoted. Oh man, that's so exciting. I remember when I got promoted, or I'm hoping I get promoted. Everything turns into them. That red flag, red flag, red flag. Then they're talking about people. And I have fallen into this a few times. Not that I was talking about people, but to listen to, because I try my best. If I say it when you're not listening, I'll say it to your face with no problems. So if someone said, hey, Dee Dee said, ask me if I said it, and I'll tell you if I said it. Because this is my problem in life. I'm sorry. The bad, yeah, don't do them bath salts. You eat somebody's face. What's up, Spanx? I have had a few friends that I have sat listening say negative things about other people, and I have been trying to distance myself from that because it is so true. And I learned this because I had the one that said something about her foster mom. I've had two people say, and I shouldn't have did that part. She don't watch my show anyway. I've had two people before ask me, do you think people know that we're as close as we are? And it never clicked to me until I've been sitting down by myself lately because of all my injuries. And you never think, why do they say that to you? Why do you ask, do people think we're close? But then I lately I've been trying to meditate and get back into the spirit that I need to be in, because the way you talk about people to me, and then I was listening to this, you're talking about me to people. So stay away from that. And I'm going to give you the perfect advice. When someone, and I always talk good about people. Like if you say something bad about somebody, because a friend of mine, really good friend of mine, says, you always defend people. There you go again, D, defending somebody. I'm always trying to find the good in somebody. and I have slid down a slippery slope. Like if I get, negativity is a spirit. That's a demonic spirit. And I have allowed it to come into my soul at times. And I'll go down a rabbit hole and I'll start getting real negative. We got to stop that. So if somebody is saying, if somebody is talking about somebody else in a negative way, then you have to say, hey. And I was really good at this at work. Like if you start talking about a coworker, I would get up and walk away. And they always be like, oh, Hairston, there go Hairston. Hairston don't ever want to be involved. See how Hairston is? Yeah, no, y'all never. And I would always say, you never going to say Hairston said anything. Hairston is about to bounce rock roller skate. So you got to get those. These are red flags. So when someone starts talking about somebody, even if you feel the same way, you got to not say anything. And a lot of times I don't say anything, but I'll kind of giggle and listen, which makes me a culprit. See, so you, even though you didn't say anything, you listened, and then that spirit just entered your body and your soul, and that's an evil spirit. I live by my Bible, and I believe in these demonic spirits. If you don't, karma's gonna come get you. So we got to stop doing that. That's a red flag all over the place, and that's a friendship you don't need. So that's, or you can keep it. I'm not telling you what to do. Didi don't tell nobody what to do, just what Didi does for herself. And I've had to catch myself a couple of times because you get in the, especially you call me after a certain time, all these shows go off. Didi used to start taking her shots of tequila. Woo, you give me too much tequila, I get way too honest. What's up, OG Steve? I'm pretty honest, but I never tell you that dress, I would say, I'll never tell you you don't have a cute baby or that dress don't look good on you. I might say you might want to change into a different color, but I'll never say anything mean about you. I'd never do anything like that. But that's a spirit. We got to keep these spirits away from us. And like I said, I did let negativity into my spirit and I passed it around. That is a negative spirit because I was feeling kind of down. And if you're feeling down, those demonic spirits hit you hard. So you got to pray every day and work to keep those spirits off of you. Didi only speaks from experience, hers, not anyone else's. So just my advice: when people start saying negative things about somebody else, say something good about that person. It'll change the whole dynamic of the conversation, and they'll stop doing it. It was another one she was talking about. Friends that use you, they keep you around. And I've dealt with this my whole life. From time, I had to go back and forth from California to New York. So making friends was always kind of hard. Keeping friends was always kind of hard. One thing I noticed that people always like to be my friend is because of somebody that I knew. So I played sports. So when I got into junior high school and high school, I knew all the boys. So I realized back then I had a lot of girls. I think that's why I got a little testy with girls for a little while in my life. I'm a girl's girl now. But they always wanted to be my friend because I knew all the dudes from sports. My brothers were football players. My sister was a cheerleader. I ran track and played basketball. So we were always involved in sports. So when you get older, they're like, oh, you know such and such. Oh, you know. So then they became my friend. And then when I got into the workplace, my mom had been doing it so long that when I got into the workplace, all these people were they were now supervisors. So I knew everybody. So then I realized these people, when they're calling me by my first government name instead of my last name, we all go by last names. They were like, oh, and they're always telling me, hey, tell your mom hi. So I said, oh, these people want to be my friend to get closer, and then they'd be like, hey, can you ask such and such if I can get like this day off, or they're looking for a special assignment. Then I started to realize, oh, so you get close to me to get close to these people. And then I realized, the older I get, because there are certain people that I do kind of know, people, hey, can you get such and such number for me? He doesn't give his number out like that. He doesn't do certain things. Or like, I realized people try to get really close to me because of somebody that I know. So either, like she said, they'll use you because they're bored. They don't have anyone to talk to. They use you for your status. They use you for your money. They use you because of who you know. So you got to kind of, if you have a friend that's not with you, because I have a best friend I've had, Eric is 23, and I knew her before Eric was born. I got my best friend from high school that I still talk to. So you got to make sure that when you're befriending people, that is because they like you for you. And if you like me for me, you really like me, because I'm outspoken. If you see me out, though, I'm really kind of quiet. Like on this screen, I talk a lot. If you know me, I talk to you. If you don't, I'm really kind of quiet. I am opinionated. Like the things when it comes to my faith. Wait, let me tell you. When it comes to my faith, this is my Bible. Let me see if you can see it. I don't play when it comes. Let me see if I can get. Oh, it's not gonna come up. Wait, let me get. Hey, Queen. I don't know. It's not gonna come up. But this sucker is huge. Okay, it's a study Bible, which means it has precept upon precept. It explains what the Bible is saying to you. So when it comes to that Bible, G-Lew, no, when it comes to that Bible, I get really serious. So I may not express it to everybody. Because somebody told me, I said I don't do churches, and they thought I didn't do faith at all. So that's not true. So make sure you're picking your friends wisely, and they want to hang out with you. Even I'm boring sometimes and quiet and dull. All right. Somebody asked the husband, "Why did you marry her? How could you marry someone like her?" He said, "She don't say nothing when she come home. She quiet." So make sure you're picking somebody that's there for your ups and your downs. This comes in friendship, marriage, work, everything. Because I also had, I quit a job at 19 years old because my supervisor kept taking credit for all my work. Now, that was the dumbest thing I ever did. I was working for the state because I didn't, at 19, you don't know how to deal with anything like that. So you have to learn how to deal with the workplace with these red flags. You have to learn how to deal with your friendships with these red flags. You have to learn how to deal with your relationships with these red flags. And and then I didn't want to get into the whole cheating and lying thing on those, but just learn how to see the red flags and run from the red flags. Take accountability for yourself. Like I talked about that a lot. There are things that you are going to have to do and humble yourself, because like I said, don't get into the position where you have to humble yourself and go out and say, "I'm sorry," and don't add a but to that sorry. That's all. You can go rewind it if you didn't hear it, because we talked about accountability. That was the one video that really got me on those red flags, not taking accountability for your action. If you see somebody and they're doing it to somebody else, they're going to do that to you. So this was fun. We got to get out the way because Lena's coming up. Make sure you don't miss it. And thank you for waiting for us to get on today. I know we have some little technicalities. Thank you guys for coming back, hanging out with us. We've been back now. I appreciate you guys supporting me while I needed the time off. And again, wait, I got to help you get up here. We're almost there. And I'm going to get it up there soon. So love you guys. Thank you. I appreciate your support. And we will be back next week. I think Wes is back with us next week. And LaLa, sorry, she had to rush off to work. We got a late start, so she had to bounce. And we got Queen in the chat. We started this together, me, Queen, and G-Lew. We started the Hookah Lounge together like, 4 or 5 years ago, Queen? It was a long time ago, and we still rocking strong. So we will see you guys next week. No, we'll see you guys in like 10 minutes, 5 minutes. We got Lena coming on next. Love y'all. And we'll see you tomorrow for it's a gospel thing and oldies rule forever. Love y'all. Thank you. Sorry I went so fast.